Alright, so what we're working on is a 1995 Chevy 454, and we need to change the springs on the heads. So this tool was purchased. It's a spring compressor tool. I believe you can use up to 3/8 stud and 7/16 stud. Well, that's 3/8 and 7/16. So it's got a reversible head on it, so you can swap it back and forth to whatever size head studs you have on your head. For example, I'm familiar with small block Chevys. We all know that on a small block Chevy, you have your rocker, your pivot ball, your stud coming through it, and you have a nut on top. That's for a small block Chevy. I'm not sure about all the other years of the 454s, but on 95 to 99, I know for a fact that you have your rocker, you have your pivot ball, and then you have your mounting bolt. And that's what it looks like. They're non-adjustable. I do have the original, but I was going to cut it up, but I'm not going to now. So another one was purchased from Melling, brand new. This comes in a kit. I guess you just cannot buy your hold down bolt. So I'm going to cut this about midpoint. Yeah, about midpoint, right about here. Then I went and got a graded bolt. I was going to get a stainless bolt, but I got a graded bolt. And I'm going to weld it to this. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to do that, so that you can use the spring compressor tool to remove the springs. That's the only way you can do it, because you do not have 95 to 99, I know for a fact, do not have head studs. Once again, they have this. So I'm going to modify this so that all you have to do is buy one of these. I don't have the part number for it, but they're all over online. All you got to do is put spring compressor tool. You get one like this. I think they're 25 bucks or something like that. If you don't like the long handle, comes off. You have a short handle. I'm not Superman, so I will use the long handle. And this is actually a pretty cool tool. It's actually pretty cool. So I'm going to show you how it works on the head too. I'm just not going to show you the modification. But I'm not going to cut these either and show you how to cut them. It's real obvious. Just cut this down, 4-inch, 4.5 inch grinder, smooth them till they're nice and flat, and then weld them together or TIG them together. That's the only way you're going to do it. Weld them together or TIG them together. So let me get started and I'll show you bit by bit how I'm going to do this. Alright, so from the bottom of the head to the bottom of the shaft, before it gets into the threads, that is 1 inch. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off 3/4 of an inch to where I only have a 1/4 inch left on there to weld my threads on. So this is going to be cut at a 1/4 inch. If you do it, just measure a 1/4 inch from the bottom up and cut it a 1/4 inch right there. On the bolt, it's a graded bolt. It's 1.5 inches long. Make sure you use a graded bolt. That is approximately a little over a 1/4 inch where I marked it, because I'm going to use 1 inch for threads from this bolt. So 1 inch of threads are going to be used to weld onto this. Alright, let me cut these up. Alright, so what I'm going to do to get this as straight as I can is I'm going to put some tape on it, wrap it around, there you go. That's going to help with your cut line. For you can get it as straight as it doesn't have to be perfectly straight cut, but you want it as straight as you can get it. So don't do a shoddy job on it. Same thing for here. I've already marked out where I'm cutting. I'm going to put tape on the threads. And that's going to give you pretty much a perfectly round cut that you want to get, so you don't go way off on it. Alright, so this cuts, this cuts. Let me do that real quick. Alright, so here's what we got so far. So just with a 4-inch grinder, just carefully cut around, get the threads you need, discard that. Cut the bolt in half. All I needed was the lower part. Discard that. Then you got your two pieces, and you want to weld them together like that, whether it's TIG weld, MIG weld, stick weld, whatever you got to use, because that's the only thing you're going to be able to do is weld these together to make this work. So I got my little vise, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to tack this on, and then real lightly, and then square it up real good, and then completely go around it. So let me get started on that. And for anyone that wants to buy a used one, a new one, here's the part number. It's MRK 653. It's from Melling. You cannot buy just the bolt. It comes with the rocker, the pivot arm, and the bolt. Alright, so I got it all welded up. This is what it's going to look like when you're done. A stud. That's all it is. Then I'll show you on the block how it works. Oh, I think I got to clean up these threads. I put the vice grips on them, which I shouldn't have done, but it ain't gonna hurt it because I didn't do it that much. There we go. Nice and easy. And the reason I made the stud 1 inch is so that I can make it completely adjustable. And you also have the adjustability with this right here, obviously. But I made it more for adjustability, so it doesn't even matter if your stud comes all the way down to the bottom. Even if, as long as you have half the studs in there, it's gonna work fine. So, the next step is to put this stud back on the head, and then I'll show you how to remove the spring. That's all it is, folks. It's that simple. Then you can use your spring compressor. There really isn't any other option, because obviously you can tell the difference from the two different sizes of the threads. So let's see how well this thing works. Okay, so I got the 99 L29 put up for the moment, and what I have here is a 1995 454. And this is what we're going to be using the spring compressor tool on. And as I said earlier, this doesn't have studs on it, so instead of having to pull the heads, I welded those two little pieces together so that we can do this while it's on the heads. And I got the springs from Comp Cams, and lo and behold, it didn't come with the I don't know, I think these are the retainers in the center. Forget what these are called, but these don't fit it. So obviously you got to get the ones that do fit it. So, but let me give you the demonstration. The whole purpose of this again was that so you don't have to pull the head off, and you can change springs while it's on. I did push a 1/4 inch nylon rope into the spark plug hole and pushed it in with a screwdriver to where it's nice and tight. So that should mean that this shouldn't really even move, and that's going to keep it from falling in. So let me show you how this works. Alright, so I have the stud. I'm going to put it in. You don't want to put the pliers on the threads, obviously, so keep it on the biggest part of the nub here. And you probably don't even have to put it all the way down, but I did anyway. Then you grab your tool. Get back a little bit, though. You can see the whole thing. Screw it down. And then I'll back it up a little bit. Then, okay, so then obviously all you have to do is compress it, line it up, compress it, take your retainers off, And there you go. Completely removable. And then when you put your new spring on, put your new spring, line it up, get your tool where you're going to put it. Take your time. Get your retainer on. Then remove your tool. Remove your tool, take your stud off, go to the next one, do the same thing. Take the stud off, go to the next one, do the same thing. Take the stud off, go to the next one, do the same thing. It's the same repetition all the way across. So basically that's all you need to do, folks. Take your stud to a shop, wherever you got to take it, have them weld it up for you if you don't have a welder. And you have a tool that you can buy anywhere, and change your springs out. So I hope this helped. Please like and subscribe if you like this video. It'll help the channel out. And thanks for watching.